If you are hosting a virtual event on the Remo platform and you want your guests to network, to build new connections and meet new people, well then personal profiles are a powerful feature. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at how those personal profiles work and how you can encourage your guests to set theirs up. My name is Seth Ressler. I am the founder of Community Marketing Revolution, and if you are just getting started on the Remo virtual event platform, I have a free quick start guide that you can download that will help you get your first virtual event up and off the ground. The link to download that for free is in the description to this video. Let's talk about hosting networking events on the Remo virtual event platform. And I'll be honest, I think this is one of the things that Remo really excels at. I'm actually fond of saying, look, if everybody on your call already knows each other, or you don't even care if they know each other, then Zoom is probably fine. You can get away with Zoom. But if you want people to build new relationships, to network with one another, and to walk away with some new connections, then that's where the Remo platform really shines. And one of the features that's really going to help you with this is getting your guests to fill out their personal profiles with all of their information, including their name, their profile photo, links to, for example, their LinkedIn profile or their website, things like that. So let's actually go into a Remo event so I can show you what that looks like. So here I am. I have entered the registration link for my event into my browser. This link, of course, becomes the join link once the event starts, and this event has already started. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button that says join the lobby. That's because I have the lobby turned on for this event. And I'm actually going to pretend that I am registering for the first time. So I've never been to a Remo event before. I'm going to use a brand new account, and I'm going to type in just a test email and go ahead and log in with email and password. It's going to ask me for my name. We'll call it that, whatever. And then I'm going to go ahead and join the event. Now you notice that because this is my first time creating an account, Remo knows this and has asked me to set up a profile. So if I click this button here, it will then ask me to create a profile, and I can go ahead and upload a profile picture. I can enter my first and last name, and I can answer some questions. I can even open this up to reveal more questions if I want to put more information in here. And then I can save the profile and join the event. Now, once your attendees click on that link, they're going to be taken to this screen, which may be familiar to you. This is the screen where attendees can check to make sure that their mic and their camera are working before they enter the event. And some of your attendees are going to click that button without filling out all of their profile information. So you may want to remind them at a couple of different points to go back and edit their profile and add their information if they haven't already done so. So let's talk about some of the different points at which you could ask them to go in and add information to their profile. Starting with this, if you have turned on the lobby feature for your virtual event, and it's probably off by default, but you can go into the advanced settings and you can turn on the lobby. And what that means is that when people come to this screen and they check their mic and camera, they are not automatically dumped into the floor plan of the event. It's not until you, as the event organizer or one of your event assistants, actually lets them in the door that they're going to be brought into the event. And so you can actually add a custom message to the lobby, and that is what I have done here. So you'll see over on the right side, it says take a moment to click the circle with your initials in the top right corner and fill out your profile. And that, of course, is right up here. They can go up and they can edit their profile here just by clicking on this edit link. And now I've got the option to click a button. And again, I can add my profile picture, I can add name and all sorts of information. So the lobby is one place that you can use to encourage people to go ahead and fill out their profile. Let me take you to the Remo backend and show you how you set that up. So here I am, I'm in the back end of my Remo event, and if I click on advanced, I can go down to lobby and welcome, and I've turned on the lobby by checking this box here that says enable guest lobby, and then I've created a custom lobby message where I just say, and it's the message that you just saw, take a moment to click the circle with your initials in the top right corner and fill out your profile. So that's how you can encourage people to do it in the lobby. And I want to take a moment to show you what the lobby looks like if you are the event organizer and the event has already started. Here I am, I'm logged in as the event organizer. This is the front end of the event, and you can see down here at the bottom, it says lobby, and there are 2 people waiting in the lobby. If I click that, it opens up the window and I can now let them in, or I can just admit everybody. And at any point, I can just turn that lobby off. So sometimes what I will do is if an event is starting, for example, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I might actually set the event to start in Remo at 10 minutes before 2, and I'll turn on the guest lobby. And then we'll have the lobby here, and then I'll just turn off the lobby when the clock actually strikes 2. So that way people who come early will have that opportunity to go ahead and fill out their profile if they want to ahead of time. Of course, you will still have attendees who don't fill out their profile when they're prompted to when first setting up their Remo account, and they won't do it when they're in the lobby. So they'll actually wind up in the event, and you'll still want them to fill out their profile information. So let's talk about how you can prompt them to do so. And you've got a couple of different tools in Remo that you can use to encourage people to go ahead and fill out that profile. So once somebody has entered the event, they can still edit their profile or add information just by moving their cursor up to that top right corner, clicking on their initials if they haven't added a photo, or it's going to be their profile photo if they've already added a photo, and then they can go ahead and click that edit button, and then their profile will come up and you will see that edit profile button. If they click on that, they can go ahead and enter any of those fields. So you can encourage people to do so at any point in the event. All you need to do is basically just make an announcement that says, hey, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and click in that circle up in the top right corner and edit your profile, add all your profile information. So let's talk about the different ways that you can do this. Number 1, you can always do it in presentation mode. And you've actually got 2 options here with the presentation button. So if I click on this, I can go ahead and start presentation mode. This is typically what you use for your big presentation when you are going to start your main event, but you could, at the start of your presentation, tell people that they should fill out their profile. Or maybe at the end of the presentation, right before you are going back to this mode, this conversation mode, encourage them to go ahead and fill out their profile if they haven't already done so. But an even better way, I think, is to use broadcast in conversation mode. And what this is going to do is this is going to keep us in this conversation mode. So people will still be at their seats at the tables talking to one another, but it allows you to broadcast a quick message. So if I go ahead and click that, it's going to ask me. I'm actually going to go ahead and start the broadcast. It says my microphone is off. That's just because I don't want feedback while I'm recording this video, but I will do that. And then you can see it's going to open up in the top left corner a little window, and now I can talk to everybody while we're in conversation mode. And this is a great place to say, hey everybody, don't forget to fill out your profile. You can do it by clicking in the little circle up in the top left corner. You got to point over to it. Whoops, no, point that way. Yep, make sure you're pointed in the right direction, and let people know. So that's a great way to do it as well. Let's go ahead and end this presentation mode. It's going to ask me, yep. And the other tools that we've got here is, of course, we've got the chat. So if I click this chat button, I can open up the chat window and I can send an announcement to the general chat and just say, hey, don't forget to edit your profile by clicking that link up in the top right corner of your screen. Or I could even go down here to these 3 buttons that say more and click on those, and I can make an announcement. And we can type something in like, to add your profile info, click the circle in the top right corner of your browser. And then we go ahead and announce that. It'll say, do you really want to announce that? Yes, I do. And what it does is there's a little ding noise and it goes ahead and makes that announcement there. So those are some of the different ways that you can encourage your attendees to fill out their profile information. And again, this just makes it really helpful if your event is all about networking and about building new connections between your attendees. One other thing that I'll mention is that if you do want them to fill out that profile, then it's a good idea to mention it in the email announcements leading up to your event. Just to say something in there that says, hey, when you first log in, make sure that you fill out your profile. It'll make it easier for you to make new connections at the event. Again, I'm Seth Ressler from Community Marketing Revolution. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you are just getting started with your Remo virtual events, then I have that free quick start guide that you can download. The link is in the description, and that will help you launch your very first event on the Remo platform. Thanks so much for watching.